I went out for errands, and it was at that point that everything went double and then flipped 90 degrees. Like telephone poles and electric poles were sticking out horizontal, and the ground was vertical. Things are just a swirl of colors. I couldn't figure out that the cans contained food. The labels looked like patterns. I just knew then that something was very wrong, at which point I began to drive home. And then I didn't know how to drive home. Every time I hit a stop sign, I would sit there and figure out if I was going to go left or right, and I was able to get closer and closer to my house. And then I knew I needed to call 911. I couldn't figure out the phone number for 911. I decided to pick up the phone and punch a bunch of numbers. And whoever picked up, I would tell that someone that something was wrong. And that's how I ended up calling my husband at the time. The random set of numbers I punched in were my husband's phone number. It wasn't until the doctor told me that I'd had a stroke that I looked down and realized I'd been A, reading a book, and B, that I'd been reading the same paragraph over and over again for the past 3 days. On December 31, 2006, I had a left thalamic stroke that left me with a 15-minute short-term memory. It left me unable to boil water, because I'd boil water and walk away, return to it, and wonder who on earth was boiling water. I found that I had completely changed, that my world had completely changed, that my abilities had completely changed. I was unable to speak, unable to remember. I just really wanted my words back. It was the one thing I lost, and it was the one thing I wanted back. So each day, I wrote a post, and I would just detail what happened each day. And I just really did it because I didn't want to forget the experience. Around this time, I wrote an essay for BuzzFeed, and it helped propel me forward. I was able to write this essay, which went viral, which blew my mind. I had the fortunate experience of gaining interest by agents and editors, and now we have this book that I wrote in the course of 12 months. So Tell Me Everything You Don't Remember. It's a personal account of what happened to me during my stroke and recovery. I always wondered, why I would write this story, and I thought, it's just a story about me getting sick and me getting better. But then I realized in a larger context, it's a comeback story. Writing it felt like a dam bursting, like I'd been ready to tell this story, and something finally happened in my life. My life had fallen apart, and I was able to channel all my emotions into this narrative to understand what had happened. And I feel like my own epiphanies, my own realizations, my own sense of discovery, I hope will be communicated through what I've written down.